To call this meeting to order. Welcome to the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club, the best Rotary Club in the universe. Today's invocation is by Mr. Melder Curtis. If everybody please stand and rise and bow your heads.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we're grateful to be able to meet as a Rotary Club, and we're grateful for the community in which we live, and we pray for thy guidance to help us do good things in the community. And we also pray for a quick end to the virus pandemic. And this we pray for in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of
the United States of America and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Go ahead and have a seat. And Curtis, I believe you got a reading or a song or something here.
I do. I have a reading, and this is by Yip Harburg, who penned the lyrics to Over the Rainbow. And it goes like this. Lives of great men and women all remind us of greatness takes no easy way. All the heroes of tomorrow are the heretics of today.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Curtis. Do we have any visiting Rotarians? I know we've got one. We've got Christina Trader on here, who is, Christina, you're president of the Marysville Club, is that correct? Well, I had Christina Trader on here. I don't know. We lost her somewhere along the way. But anyway, Christina was going to join us today. And then we also have Andrew Miller, who will be properly introduced when we get to the program. So welcome, everybody. Moving on to club business, the Rotary Foundation Weekly Moment is about matching money with people for positive results. The Rotary Foundation has been so effective because it matches money with people. In the words of Arch C. Klump, the founder of our Rotary Foundation, money alone does little good. Individual services help us without money. The two together can be a godsend to civilization. Your financial resources, time, energy, and talent are useful in the Rotary mission. Thank you for all your contributions and your efforts in support of the Rotary Foundation and Rotary International. Got a few announcements going on here. Board meeting next Tuesday at April 13th. I will send an announcement out with a link to the Zoom link to all the board members and then a couple other people that have expressed interest in being there. If you would like to attend the board meeting, let me know and I will make sure that you get the link. We talked about it last week, but right now is District Assembly, what they're calling the Training Fiesta. I've attended a couple of classes so far and I'm signed up for some more. Our own Carl Garrison and Yulia Garrison will be speaking on the 26th regarding Rotary and Toastmasters. I encourage you to go out to the District 5050 website and check out the offerings. These classes out there are not just for club officers, they're for everybody and they cover a wide variety of topics. So check it out. I will warn you that you need to get signed up for a class if you're interested in a day before the class, no later than a day before. Tim Allen, do you have anything you want to say about the auction?
Certainly. Our next auction meeting will be at 6 p.m. on April 19th. So get that down on your calendars. April 19th, 2021, that's a Tuesday night. I'd like all the different committee chairs to make a presentation or have someone in their committee make a presentation about what their committee is accomplishing, where they're going, and what help they might need. And then we can get other folks to pitch in and help out where needed. The general point about the auction is we are looking for donations. We need silent items, we need live items, we need sponsors, we need just general donations of any kind. And be sure to get out there and start looking for donations from your teams. So your monthly team chairs need to start getting everybody working together and coming up with different items for the auction. There have been some new ideas trying to put together packages. You know, your different committees could put together a basket. I think that's what they usually call it, but there's all kinds of different have there. We could make a golf basket, a fishing basket, a gardening basket, whatever. Come up with different things along that line to put in the silent auction, or if it's big enough, put it in a live auction. Again, Rich is handling the live auction as usual, and he always does jobs, so we're counting on him and he will deliver. Sponsors, the sponsor amounts are right now sitting at about 53,500. I believe that's correct. I don't know. I haven't looked for Tomas is on and he knows.
Yeah,
And
that's correct. And we are waiting on a couple more to get the sponsorship forms from.
fantastic. So sponsors and all the individual people like John, Janicki, and everybody else that's gone out there. Rich gets a bunch, and we put all those different sponsors together and have, well, as we're seeing, over $50,000 already, and that's fantastic. Okay, and then individually start working on your donations. What are you going to do? Each member is supposed to donate 3 items to the auction, be on top of what he does as a member of his monthly team. So that gives us all something to work on, and we can raise a lot of money. So let's get everybody working on that. Okay, our announcement, our save the date. Christine and Joellen are getting that ready, and that will go out. Sounds like it'll be going out next week. They're working on the final proof right now. Okay, that sounds good, and we'll be keeping informed as new developments come up. Are there any questions? Anybody?
Yeah, Tim, this is Daryl. Quick question. You said each person is responsible for donating 3 items. Don't you mean we need to procure 3 items, or we need to actually? Okay.
Correct.
So combination. Do you have your team, and then you got to get 3 more, whether it's a combination of what you donate or the things that you procure.
Correct.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's always been the expectation. Chris Rothenbuehler, you have a question?
Yeah, so just to kind of let everybody know that I have decided to postpone the concert series for another year. Just it's too hard to, as a nonprofit, to control the amount of people that were coming in. That being said, Tim, I haven't been part of the auction committee meetings, but please drop me an email. Let me know where I can step in and help out as much as possible. I was talking with both Luke and Tiffany at the Iron Mountain the other night. I believe Eric Johnson was in there mentioning a few things. They would like to know some more details. I think their biggest concern is the amount of people that we would have there and whether or not to close down the bar for specifically Rotary. So the more details that we can get the local restaurants for the Rotary auction, the better.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris. And there was a couple other questions. Eric Johnson asked, are we going to be taking all the items over to Janicki Logging, Tim? Are we going to do that again?
Is Travis on?
Travis is not on the call.
Don't
Travis
hear from
is- Travis isn't on, and I probably need to connect with Travis before we decide, because I need to figure out if he's going to input him this year or I'm going to input him this year, because I did all of that last year myself. So I don't want people dropping things off just yet till I connect with Travis.
Okay, thanks, Danny. And then there was another question that came about.
We will get on.
The other question, Tim, that came up was as far as the Big Rock Woolley Market, are those tickets going to be available for anybody? Are they for the major sponsors? Do we know yet? Where are we at on that?
Certainly, we are going to offer tickets to the major sponsors. So we'll get with them. We haven't figured this all out yet. Actually, Eric and I have to get together, and we'll have to get together with Chris and talk about Iron Mountain and all of that. So we'll have to put together how we're going to pull that off, but we will offer tickets to the major sponsors, and then there will certainly be tickets up for grabs. And as soon as we get that all worked out and get a price figured out, we'll go from there.
Okay.
So that's you and me need to get together and work with Woolley Market and find out what's going on there. Okay.
Carl, you had a question?
Yeah, Tim, the 19th is a Monday. Is it Monday or Tuesday?
Crap. Let me look at the calendar again.
Minor details. Chris, what's your question?
So the only other question that I got from Luke and one other restaurant in town about doing the Rotary stuff is catering.
Okay.
And whether or not they'd be providing food and charging for plates. So just, I know I haven't been able to catch the last couple of meetings, so I just might be out of the loop. If somebody could just drop me an email, that'd be great.
How
So I got some answers for you, Chris. As far as the amount of people, we would want them to close for a private party and offer as many seats as they can provide and let us know ahead of time how many tickets we can sell for that. And we would ask them as well to provide a meal. Woolley Market is doing a steak and a fish offering, and they are also giving us the location without a charge for facility fee. So I don't know if Luke would be up for that as well. We're going to offer a sponsor, a small sponsorship for the Woolley Market for doing that. And we could probably do the same for Iron Mountain.
Okay, well, Tim will be sending out an email telling us all the auction date and Zoom link and all that good stuff. So moving on, Patrick's Playground. I don't see Steve Massey or Mike or anybody on there, but my understanding is things are moving along, but we're just still kind of waiting for things to dry out a little bit. The Helping Hands Food Bank fundraiser, I've sent emails out about this and we've talked about it on the calls. Tickets will go on sale next week, I believe. I will send out another email with a link that talks about ticket sales. They are looking for volunteers for the night of the auction or for the night of the event to help out there. If you are interested, you can let me know, or you can let Rebecca Larson know over at the food bank. They would love our help in any way we can. And the board will be talking next Tuesday about what kind of sponsorship we're going to be able to do, if any. District 50/50 has created the Polio Plus Society. We talked about it a little bit last week, but basically they're giving special recognition to anybody that commits to donate a minimum of $100 to the Polio Plus campaign until polio is eradicated. And, you know, their goal is to eradicate polio around the globe. If you're interested in becoming part of that, let me know. I can get you the link again. Actually, you can just go to the district, go to the myrotary.org and look at donations, and there's a spot for it right there. We're going to be welcoming a couple of new members in the next couple of weeks. I believe their orientations this Friday. Patrick Eason and Rebecca Larson will be joining our club. Somewhere down the road, Christina Trader is going to be joining our club, and there's a few more names in the works. If you have somebody you know that would make a good Sedro Woolley Rotarian, let us know. Get a hold of Chris Johnson or Christine or me and let us know, and we can chase them a little bit and see if we can get them to join. Teak wanted me to let everybody know that the IPA group leaves for Copan on the 28th of this month. If you've sponsored a student and you want to send a small gift down or a letter or a card or something like that, get a hold of me or Teak and we'll let you know how to get it to the group that's going, and they'll carry it down there and get it to your student. And that's all I got as far as announcements. Are there any other announcements from the floor before we move on here? Just speak now or hold your peace kind of deal. Okay, well, seeing none, how about some happy boxes? Anybody happy today? Eric Johnson, you look happy.
So quick update on the pregnant puppy that we had. On Easter, we welcomed 6 puppies into the world, 5 boys and 1 girl. And mom is doing well and all the puppies are healthy and things are going great. So I'm gonna do 60, $10 for each.
Congratulations, Grandpa. Now remind me, what are these? These are Labradoodles or something like that?
Technically, they're double doodles, so they're a golden and a lab doodle.
Oh God, you're gonna have to send pictures out. I bet they're just balls of fur. How cute. Congratulations. Who else is happy? Chris.
I'm happy I got a 10-year-old as of the 11th, but tonight, thanks to Sheena and I think Christina and a bunch of other people that have posted on Facebook, I got this grill on wheels coming to do a hibachi dinner in my garage tonight for her. She has no idea. This will be the first time that I get to see all of her grandparents and all of her loved ones that have been high maintenance or high risk for the first time in over a year.
Oh, that is so cool, Chris. And I will tell you, AJ puts on a heck of a feast there. You're going to have a great time. It'll be great. Who else is happy? Go ahead and speak up.
I got 17 happy bucks. My little sister found out she had a heart condition about a month and a half ago, and she went in yesterday for surgery and was able to resolve it. So
wonderful. That's great news.
Yep. So hopefully she can get back to her her cross country and her track at high school.
Yeah. And River's happy too. I see that.
She is.
Always. Yes. Who else is happy?
Oh, I'm happy. My kids just got back from Disneyland with their dad, and I was presented with this Best Mother Award. So I'm very happy about that. I'm just so honored to get this Best Mother Award from my kids.
Well, congratulations.
Mike, I'm happy. I just signed up for the $100 a year. So I'm gonna
Good for you, Carl.
do the Polio Plus.
Yeah, I sent mine in yesterday, so
Good job.
thank you. And I did mine. Mine's kind of special to me because my mother is a polio survivor, so kind of meant something. Anybody else? Well, if not, we'll close the happy box. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our own Miss Paula, who is going to introduce our speaker today. Paula?
Hi there. So in speaking with Mr. Miller from Tulip Town and various other enterprises, he said I could say about him, you can just say I'm a kid from the hill in Mount Vernon that can't sit still and wants to be a good example to his kids and make mom and dad proud. Now, that's what Andrew had to say. I did notice that on their website, one of their mottos was helping grow what grew us. And Spinach Bus Ventures was started by, I believe, 5 folks that went to the same high school at the same time and used to ride the spinach bus together. There is several different organizations within their basic program. They have a flour mill, Fairhaven Flour. They have the tulip gardens at Tulip Town. They have what used to be Skagit Valley Gardens, but you call it something else now, don't you, Andrew? And
Yep, Skagit Acres.
thank you. And then they are just now opening a restaurant up at the port. And they have employed a chef that is very familiar with locally grown and sourced products. So I'm going to turn the rest of it over to Andrew and have him tell you what he's got going on. He does have Locals Night coming up out at the Tulip Field. So you do have an opportunity to go out there and see the tulips without having to deal with all the tourists. Andrew,
That's right.
it's all yours.
Hey, thank you, Paula. So, hey, I'm going to stand up real quick. I am out in the field, and so you can see behind me. I know you guys were talking about being stuck inside today, but we have about 1,000 people out here that are enjoying the bloom with us. I stole away. Every morning, and so this is the good idea. I get accused of being the good idea fairy, or sometimes just the idea fairy, maybe not just a good idea fairy. But I said, hey, we should do an experience pass. And they said, that's great, Andrew. You get to do it. So I spend every morning from 6 in the morning when I start out on the farm with the photographers, and then at 8 o'clock, people pay $45 a person to go out and pick their own bouquet. And so I get to talk to them about the farm. So I've been talking nonstop since about 6 this morning, which you'd think would slow me down, but it really just gets me warmed up. So those that may know me, I do tend to get going. That being said, I'm triple booked. And we have a rule, but if you know anything about Spinach Bus, and especially me, that convention kind of goes out the window. So we have a non-essential mission. I'm just getting tons of texts and trying to run the business here. And my kids will probably walk up and ask me questions while we're doing this, but so I apologize in advance for that. But no non-essential meetings. But when Paula asked me to speak, it became an essential meeting. So all the love in the world to Paula for that, as you all well know. My name's Andrew Miller. I did grow up on the Hill. I started Spinach Bus Ventures with Donnie Keltz and Randy Howard and Rachel Ward Sparwasser and Angela Spear. And we all know each other. We're all Mount Vernon 94. I was a yell leader with Angela and Rachel, and we cheered on Donnie and Randy when they were playing basketball back in the heyday there in Mount Vernon. So we went out to conquer the world, did our things. I was in the Air Force. I went to Brazil for 2 years as a missionary, and then joined the Air Force, where I was an intelligence officer. So I did that for about 14 years. Took me all over the world chasing bad guys. And then along the way, I picked up a law degree because I thought that's something I wanted to do. The generals that I worked for were lawyers, and that worked pretty well. I went to Seattle U at night and chased bad guys during the day. My buddies, they called me the Mormon James Bond because I was always up to something. So that's where I learned not to sit still. And really learned to look around corners. And so when I decided that I didn't necessarily want to practice law, because I passed the bar exam in 2008, which is a horrible time to find a job as an attorney, I stayed on and I started working more on Homeland Security policy, which was awesome. And then so I got some chops in that. I picked up an MBA at PLU along the way. So I really decided that I wanted to focus on business. And then I found my way over to Expedia, where I was a global program manager for business continuity, ended up at Amazon, and looked around the room one day and realized there wasn't a single person there that I wanted to be like. And so I decided it was time to move home. I have 6 kids. That's what you'll remember from all of this. And so we moved back to the Valley, and I signed on with John Sternlick at EDASC and was part of that, the reorientation there, where I had a face full of what I thought the opportunity could be for Skagit Valley. So I spent 2 years trying to convince people that we should focus on the unique value proposition of the Valley, having grown up here. And then I got really irritated that people weren't listening. So I said, hey, you know what? We're just going to do it ourselves. And so I reached out to about 10 of our classmates and said, here's what I think needs to happen. And 4 of them said, we agree. And to the tune of Rachel actually moved back from Denver to do Spinach Bus. And so here we are. Our first acquisition was Tulip Town. We bought Tulip Town because we wanted to stay local. I spend all morning talking to people about farming and how important it is, and the fact that we are 80 miles from 6.5 million people that's projected to be 20 million people. And if we don't figure out the highest best use of our ag land, then it's gonna become houses, because and the laws of economics and gravity are not to be trifled with. And so we have a really unique opportunity here in the Skagit Valley. If we lose our ag land, we lose the river, we lose the salmon, we lose the orca, we lose really a lot. And so our focus here at Tulip Town is, and at the mill, we bought Fairhaven Mill 6 weeks after we closed on Tulip Town, because there was one of 3 food processors left. And in order to capture the value where it's created, we need to have access to processing. So the grain economy in Skagit County is really important to the future of what we think value-added ag should be. And then we bought Skagit Valley Acres and converted Skagit Valley Gardens and turned it into Skagit Acres because we wanted, not because we wanted a garden center, but because we did not want that place to be turned into the largest marijuana grow in Washington State, or any other possible use that could have been for that 26 acres on I-5. And so we jumped on that. I've done a major renovation there, and are really trying to turn that into somewhere where everyone in the valley can take their friends and go and just kind of be out and about and enjoy the food, everything. The bounty of the county is what we like to say. So, and then most recently, as Paula pointed out, as a result of COVID, a very good friend of ours and another classmate, Josie Urbeck, who was the executive chef at the Seattle Art Museum, was furloughed. And she said, "Hey, what do you guys got going on?" I said, "We had one rule when we started Spinach Bus, and that was from our CFO, Randy Howard. He said, no restaurants." I said, "Cool story. Wait until I try to get a restaurant out of this." And with Josie, it absolutely makes sense. So in working with the commissioners and Patsy up at the port, we're able to move into the old Flyers spot up there. And right now, the Skagit Landing is operating the cafe here at Tulip Town, and also out of Skagit Acres, it'll open up. And then once we are able to, and it makes sense, we'll fully open up at the port. So we're really excited about that. A little bit about Tulip Town. We this year, in the first week, we're on track to, we've never had to do, we're doing a lot of things that we've never done before, and selling tickets online. And as such, we've almost sold as much as Tom and Jeanette did in their best year before we opened. And so we think that's a combination of a lot of pent-up demand, and also the market responding to the proof of our concept of really opening up the field. The 5 of us partners have the benefit of not being Dutch, which is also to suggest that we don't have grandparents that are haunting us for not doing it the old school Dutch way. We don't have a 5-acre block of color. We cut the field so that people could get out there. Now that creates some tensions and some trying to keep people out of the rows. The surface area is enhanced by 10%, but which means that our risk envelope is quite a bit bigger too. So if I look over my shoulder right before I hopped on this call, I was chasing people out of the field. Everybody gets excited and wants to get out there. It's just not good for them or the flowers. So we also took in-house the retail, and as I mentioned before, the food and beverage. And that's a way that we think that we can capture more of the value of the people coming through for Tulip Festival. Fairhaven Mill, we're super excited about working directly with local farmers, as Paula said. Fairhaven Mill is actually 2 years older than Bob's Red Mill, so it's the oldest continuously operating mill that we're aware of in Western Washington. We're pretty excited about that. And so we did a rebrand there. We're in 1,000 different Kroger stores nationwide. And so we continue to work really to fly the flag of Skagit. Skagit's right on the bag. So everywhere that it goes, people are talking about that. It was fun. Last night we were on NBC Nightly News, and my phone blew up. And the funniest one that I saw was, "Hey, Andrew, now what will go on your gravestone is you are part of the group that taught the rest of the country how to say Skagit." And I am totally cool if that's what people remember me as, part of the group to help people know how to pronounce Skagit. So be it. So let's see here. That's kind of the top. And I know I shotgunned a lot of that out there, but when I do this, I never leave enough time for questions. And so I want to correct that this time, because now you have an August club here with a lot of really smart questions. And if I don't know the answer, I've had a lot of practice making it up today. Answers, that is. Any questions? And I don't even drink coffee, and I talk this fast. So you can imagine what would happen if I did.
Well, Andrew, I know you got the restaurant that you're kind of working on. Have you got plans for other ventures going on here?
Oh, we absolutely do. Yeah, no rest for the weary, right? One of the biggest things that we are focused on, I think So our business model, really, or our strategy on that unique value proposition for Skagit Valley is in a value-added ag and food. It's in arts, culture, events, and entertainment. And the third leg of that stool really is outdoor recreation and tourism. All of that being said, what the biggest gap that we have for quality of life in Skagit Valley is affordable housing, or housing period, but affordable being that. And so we are constantly looking at opportunities for housing. We love the idea and are working on a group to go make a run at the mall, because we think that a retail residential village makes tons of sense right there. Right? It's already permitted. We've talked to the city. We're a group that we think we could pull that off. It's also, there's a nameless, faceless investment group that does own it, a real estate company. They have been relatively unresponsive, according to Clay so far, but we'll keep plugging away at that. But there's about 4 other projects that we're looking at. We're also putting together a group to have a look at Eaglemont to see if we can make something work up there, so that we can get that golf course back up and running and viable. We don't want to own a golf course, but we want that golf course to be a draw for the community. So we'll see if we can go. Those are the housing, bunch of different housing projects that we're looking at, and Eaglemont is that would be a good one.
Yeah, I know there are several of us on this call that would wish somebody would buy Eaglemont and do something with it. and give back.
Yeah, right.
That'd be
Absolutely.
great.
I have a question. I'm just curious. So, Andrew, good to see you, and thank you for all that you're doing in the Valley. You guys have been working hard. It's going to be fantastic as you move forward. I'm curious about your role in the PUD as commissioner. Maybe share why it is you chose to do that, because I know that it's very significant with what you're wanting to see happen in the Skagit Valley.
It is, and thank you so much for bringing that. And I've only been doing it since January, so sometimes I forget to throw that out there, except for when it pops up on my radar. But I am really excited to have been elected to represent Skagit County as a commissioner. When I moved back to the Valley, I was quite frankly embarrassed, and by the behavior of these PUD commissioners. And I'll tell you what, we lost out on economic development opportunities because we had people who were looking to invest in the Valley, and they said, hey, if this is the caliber of elected officials that you have in here, then I'm going to go somewhere else. And I swore, never, not on my watch. We're going to do something different. And I could not be more excited than to serve with Joe and Jermaine right now. We, quite frankly, we inherited a lot of deferred maintenance. And so now we're having to make some hard choices, but I have 2 very smart commissioners that are beside me, smarter than I am on many, many things, and for which I'm grateful. And we have a phenomenal staff. George has built a team to really get us to the next level. I am excited about trying to figure out, the water's not easy. We're fortunate that we don't have electricity, but we need to get in the broadband game. We have got to, the PUD needs to put some, and it's interesting too, because as a water company, and there's a lot of legislation that's flying around right now, the PUD needs to be involved in championing the broadband everywhere. Also, I think I love the opportunity to be a voice for water and to work with the farmers. This whole the work that Will's doing on the FERC relicensing and all that other stuff, we do need to have, if I can show up with my commissioner hat on, it's no longer just that muckraker, troublemaker guy. I actually get to, I don't stop being that, but I get to be that on behalf of the ratepayers of the PUD, because it is really important that we're very intentional about this resource and about the PUD and so thanks for that. I get a lot of energy for that. And I've been really excited the more that I've dug in to see how well run it is. And at the same time, we have some costly investments coming down the pike. So stand by. But thank you.
Andrew, great to have you here. It was really great watching Lester Holt nightly news.
The
other night of you guys and your great adventure. So it's been quite a year, and last year you guys just stepped into some amazing situations. I remember doing the locals night with an empty space on Zoom. That was amazing. And then we were just so grateful here at Country Meadow Village when you brought tulips to us last year. What's funny is that was the day before we started wearing masks on April.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So we just had many memories of that just the other day as we move forward. And then in December we were shut down. We didn't do anything. The dining room was shut down. The busiest month of the year. Then I got a call from Joanne, and Rat Santa, Skagit Acres Rat Santa came out to Country Meadow Roads, and it was a magical afternoon. Him walking around the building, waving and smiling, smiles everywhere, and that just is the highlight of my December. Really, is when he came out, and we're so grateful.
That's great.
That he did that, and I will have a special place in my heart for Rat Santa because of that.
I will let Matt know for sure.
For our valley.
Oh, you bet.
Exciting.
You're very kind. That's why we do it. Yeah. Thank you, David.
Andrew?
Yes.
So are you like a nonprofit port district, or what are you guys? I'm not sure I understand your structure.
The PUD or Spanish Bus?
I understand the PUD very well. That's my industry.
Yeah, okay.
But
yeah, no. So Spanish Bus is so SB Venture Group is a private equity management company, straight up, and we own 4 different entities right now.
So you're
own and operate.
You put opportunities in the eyes of investors.
Yes, and right now, and just to get our feet and find out how well we could work together, all of our entities are wholly controlled by the ownership group of Spinach Bus. But we're moving into, and so we'll find something that we want to retain, or Tulip Town. There were 16 people that kicked the tires or had offers in it before we bought it, and it's not something we would necessarily want to sell. But we're looking at all different kinds of models on how we might create value or take on partners to build. For instance, the mall. We're not going to make it run at a $200 million project on our own. But we've got smart people on the team that have done things like that. So from an investment perspective, yes, we capture stuff, and our focus is on Skagit Valley, right? The county. We're not going to do stuff outside. We had some ideas that were floated, maybe down into Stanwood, but we really want to focus on what we know and areas that we feel like we have a perspective that makes it unique.
So is your pedigree or whatever in venture capitalism?
No, mine's in entrepreneurship. So I'm a JD MBA, and I was at Expedia and at Amazon before that. But the rest of the team is in finance and law, insurance, also investment. Yeah, primarily in real estate on that side. So
yeah,
not mine. Mine's in leadership and strategy.
When you guys going to pull the trigger and build a new building for PUD? Because it's dead.
No. So the plans have been approved. We approved the budget on that. I don't know when we break ground.
Okay. So are you going to stay on the same campus?
It is. Yep. It's the same site. Yep. Just a new building. Yeah. Once those maintenance costs, it's another one of those where you spend more to keep an old building that was for, it's 20 years past its useful life type experience. So
yeah, I did a cost analysis of the building, I don't know, 7 years.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah, well, it needed it then.
Oh my God, it's awful. Tomas would love to help you over there.
All right.
Absolutely.
It's the water main project, $35 million water main project that's the most painful. That should have been done that a long time ago. But here we are.
Are you borrowing?
Best time to do it now.
Are you borrowing money through the SRF or USDA for that?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Yeah, because you don't have 35 million laying around, I bet.
Well, we shake the couch and find out what we can do. So
anyway, I don't want to hijack the meeting. Thank you.
No. But thanks.
Are there other questions for Andrew?
Sure. I got one.
Go ahead,
Since I'm the sponsorship co-chair for the Rotary auction, could we reach out about putting together a Tulip Town Spinach Bus basket?
Oh, we probably could do something for you. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Tomas, you need to get a hold of Andrew later on and talk about that.
There you go.
So Andrew, are all 5 of you guys solely dedicated to Spanish Bus now, or
No,
is
there's
Daniel
only,
still
actually,
in?
there's only 2 full, yeah, no, there are only 2 of us are full-time, Angela and I. And
Yeah.
Angela, as soon as Tulip Festival is over, she's going to go back to, she was at Deloitte before she came up here and was working remotely. So it's likely that she's going to go back to, and so as we're just hiring, managers we got in, found out what we needed to do, got the processes in place. And then as the CEO, then I will manage the general managers of the different businesses. Although Tulip Town, I hope to keep closest because I really like being out here on the farm. So.
Very cool.
Although I am a
Many-
miller, which is a lot of
many
fun
of the-
too,
Yeah.
to show up
Yeah.
at the mill as the miller.
Go up
So
at the mill, a miller at the mill. I like that.
yeah, that's it.
Many of you may know Andrew's partner, Donnie's wife, Kristen Kelts. She has been a big part of our community, and she's a Rotarian there in Mount Vernon, and often a part of their events over there in Mount Vernon.
Big time.
And she also has been in the past, and she's kind of the reason I met Andrew through John Sternlich's office. And I've really enjoyed knowing Andrew, and I really appreciate him being here today. So
You bet.
I hope to see you next week for the Tulip
Yes,
Town.
on the 14th. On the 14th from 5:30 to 8. Hope to see everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Well,
Well, hey,
Andrew-
I'm going to go interview a farmer.
There you go. Thanks for joining us. Have
All
fun
right,
out
you
there in the
bet.
dirt. Okay.
Will
Take
do.
care.
Enjoy your day. Thanks.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that needs to be brought up before we close this meeting down today? Just a couple of reminders. Our speaker next week will be Eric Hinckley of SLI. Get those auction items in, as I noted in my email last night and as Tim was talking about today, the auction is fast approaching. I mean, July 31st will be here before we know it. And, maybe this year will be the year that we don't wait till the last minute. Yeah, and get everything in. Didn't choke much there on that thought, but see, I've been in Rotary, 20, I think it's my 23rd year, and I think I've heard that speech for 23 years. So let's try it this year. Get out there and look at the District 5050 website for the training classes that are going on. Sign up for something if there's something that interests you. Especially good for new members. There's just some basic Rotary stuff out there. Tonight there is a class on Club Runner. So I think there's a lot of members in our club that really could benefit from learning how to use Club Runner and some of the various websites. So sign up for that kind of stuff. And board meeting next Tuesday. Board members will get a reminder. If you would like to attend, let me know and I will get the link to you. So thought for the day, due to the fact that, tax day, well, I guess tax day got delayed, but it was supposed to be next week. Today's quote comes from noted American actor, vaudeville performer. He was a cowboy, he was a humorist, he was a newspaper columnist, social commentator, Will Rogers. He said, "The only difference between death and taxes is that death doesn't get worse every time that Congress meets." So I'm going to call this meeting to a close. You guys all have a good afternoon and a good Friday. Hopefully the sun will be out this weekend and you can get out and enjoy it. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Mike.